Good morning, stupid. Welcome back to hashtag 360 stupid. We are stupid people asking you smart people simple questions. King of stupid here, Mike check MICCCZECH is in the Republic. Welcome one and all. Welcome everybody. Whew. It's been a while. What y'all up to? I've been busy. As an understatement. You know, sometimes there's alterations in life that kind of grab somebody and give them I don't know, a waking up, woken, whatever. But not in the political sense, not in the modern day sense, more of a life kind of way, you know? I tell you, some of the greatest lessons learned have come at a great cost, often pain. You know, some physical, some emotional, some intellectual. Intellectual pain. Ain't that something? Well, I'll tell you what, puff and puff, and if you don't got it right, it don't really lay down right. So, Bitcoin's finally hit its bottom, I think. And I think roughly about 6 months just before the year end, I think it'll double. As a total guess, I'm not a financial advisor. You ever wonder why people say that? And what's the consequences of not saying that? Is somebody gonna go out there and be like, "Oh, Mike Check, the king of stupid, said Bitcoin's gonna double 6 months, woohoo!" And you invest all your money, and it doesn't double. Instead, triples, but and then what? And then I'm liable because I'm the king of stupid who has uploaded idea or you ever wondered about that? Has somebody actually sued somebody who said some stuff about finances? Oh, you know, this guy, that girl, that person here, there, whatever, says, yeah, I invested all my money because this guy on the radio or the show or this thing or a podcast or whatever told me to do it. So I did it and I lost all my money. Oh, okay, yeah, well, he's liable. Is that the idea? Everyone says it. All these different podcasts I follow and listen and watch for the Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff, property, and they all say, I'm not a financial advisor. Hey, you know, there's people called economists, I think it is. Economics. Basically people who, you know, study the economy and stuff. Financial advisors. I think there's actually school for that. And so I got to thinking, if they're in economics or finance or whatever, I think another one's called venture invent I don't know, IV or I invent capital venture. I don't know. Basically, the person or the group or firm that handles investments and so on and so forth. The people that run these things, run these firms or economics or have PhDs and whatnot, they're not really that rich. People who went to school to understand how finances work and to increase their earnings or financial status are often not rich. That's why they work. that's that's why you could hire them. Because why would you work, or why would your services be available at some pay if you're the one who's good at it? You should have more money than I do, or them, or whoever has the money. Why would? Does that make sense? I mean, I get the management part, like watch the stocks and things change, move it around, blah blah blah. But financial advisor, that's what I think it is. No, it's something else. It's like the person that does the actual investments and stuff. Portfolio manager. Yeah. Professors, teachers with PhDs who have doctorates in finance, often broke as hell, teaching people about finances. You ever thought about that? Like, I don't remember any time in school. There was one class or two that kind of tried to say something about a checking account, but nothing about money. Ain't that funny? The only thing that matters is money. And I don't remember learning any of that in school. High school, junior. It should be like how to pay bills, who do you call, what's the deal. There's a lot of things don't make sense to me. That being one of them. Another one is, I believe, now this is just a belief, so it might not be so true, but I believe that it's better to live in a non-violent world and a world where there isn't much crime, especially violent crime. So, reducing violence, I believe that everybody wants that. Even the violent person, when violence is projected onto them, they're like, hey, I don't want this. They might like it, they might be good at it, defense or whatever, but at some point they're going to be like, I don't want violence in my life. I think everybody's like that. I think everybody understands that the world's a better place if there's just less violence or no violence. Shit, why not? No guns, no violence, nobody hurting nobody. Is it possible? Who knows? But here's the thingy thing. The part that doesn't make sense to me is that we all agree nobody wants crime and nobody wants violent crime especially. And so we take young people who have done things that is either unlawful or suggests inappropriate behavior or whatever. And we put them in a cage full of violent, horrible men that do violent, horrible things to them. And then, when the time's up, we open the door and say, good luck, we'll see you soon. That's what they say, actually. Because they know, the guards that are letting them loose, they're going to return, right? Because where are you going to go? What are you going to do? What do you got? Coming out of jails and prisons, what do you got? I'll tell you what you got. You got a record. You got a record, and most likely your credit score is messed up because how are you going to pay your bills, right? If you had bills or credit or loans or whatever, you're in jail. And when you're in jail or prison or whatever, you don't have access to prove your innocence. And of course, once you say crime, jail, prison, all this stuff. That's it. You're done. It doesn't matter what actually happened. It doesn't matter what you did. Once that label is on you, you're done. There's nothing else. Not in reality. No, I mean, there's nothing else in our culture. There's nothing else in our country. There's nothing else in the large majority of the world. Once you're labeled the bad guy, nobody wants you. No family, no property, no house, no car, no kids, nothing. Everything is gone, destroyed, taken, lost, damaged. And then they open the door. Say, all right, we'll see you soon. What are you gonna do? Go where? You need a job. What kind of job are you gonna get? What are you gonna do? What can you do? Well, poverty is the foundation of evil. Crime is something poor people do. And the stupidest thing I've ever heard is a rich man gets the same penalties as a poor man if they steal a piece of bread or some stupid loaf or something like that. What universe is that? First of all, why would the rich man be stealing bread? Right? So that first of all, that wouldn't happen. Second of all, if he's caught, he'd just be like, whoop, how much is that piece of bread? Here's 10 times the amount. Is that okay? I'll pay for your annual salary, I'll pay for his annual salary, and you guys make me bread every other Wednesday. Right? Boom, that's it, done. But sir, you stole the bread. Yeah, and? And here's the money for it. And here's 10 times more of the money. How much more do you need? Done. But the poor man who stole the bread to survive, oh, wee, 10, 20, 30 years. Why? So that he would come out with even less, actually, and with a criminal record. Then can't get a job, can't get apartments, can't get cars, boom, that's it, done. What are you gonna do? You gotta steal. You gotta steal to survive. Well, guess what? Now you're an offender with priors. What? Most likely on parole or probation or all that stuff. What does that do? Longer sentence, harder time, and guess what? Jails and prison is not a healthy place for humans. It's violent. It's not anything inspirational to lift people out. No, it's chains and beating and rapes and all this sick stuff. So that the person that's going to come out of that is now going to do less violence, is going to do less crime. What? How would I know, right? Wait, you should look at the science. Trust the science. Well, the numbers suggests there's a high return. That's why they say, we'll see you soon. When they open the gates and laugh in your face. Hey, that kind of rhymed. That's what we do. You take somebody who did a little something bad and torment, torture, and do horrible things to them, and then say, we'll see you soon. Why? That increases the violence. That increases the crime. And at some point, guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to go for heavier crimes and more violent acts. Right? Because they got nothing now. Now, they're out. They got nothing. Nothing. Well, that just don't make no sense to me. I'm just Confucius. Why would you build an entire industry to producing more crime and more violence. Well, I mean, money? Because money, folks, is the only thing that matters. I know we say, oh, you can't buy this with money. That's what poor people say. True, you can't buy time, right? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at that. If you don't have any money, you don't have any time. You gotta work, you gotta clean, you gotta have kids, you gotta da 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 da. Meanwhile, you know, the big gods collecting their portion. Sure, rightfully so. I mean, hey, you're using roads that you got beat down on because, well, you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money. Yeah, you'll get your time in court. Of course you will. Yeah. And what do you do there? Well, you can't really present your case. And so you're supposed to get a lawyer. A lawyer. That's right. What? They want their money up front, the whole thing. And often more after. What do you do? What are they supposed to do, right? I mean, how are they going to get paid? They got to get paid. Got to get paid. Somebody's got to pay someone. This entire country is essentially living off the backs of the small fraction of the actual workers, the taxpayers, the ones that actually work and pay taxes on their incomes. I think it's about a third or less than a third of the population. Cut out the elderly, cut out disabled, cut out children. Basically, it's only about a third, I think, or less, of the human population that is literally paying for everything. Everything. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? I had my property. I used to think about that, especially when there's good people that are hardworking, always gone, always working, kind of giving me a lump sum rent. Boom, 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 boom. That's crazy, huh? Such a large percentage of people's earnings go to rent. Rent is always getting higher. Rent never goes down. And everyone needs a place to live. Now, if you don't pay for the place you live, somebody pays for the place you live. And the only people that can pay for anything are the people that actually work. Now, certainly the higher echelon of the financial sociological positions pay for things. They're not the ones that are actually working. They do a lot of work, don't get me wrong. it's not easy getting rich, but it's possible. It's doable. But to maintain the wealth and to grow the wealth, that's not easy. It's not easy. So yes, there's a lot of work there. Owning a shop, taking the risk, putting the things together, and becoming wealthy, maintaining it, and growing it. Yes, spend a lot of money. That money goes to the workers for working. But workers, people, produce more than they consume. That's the only reason humans are valuable. Human labor is valuable because humans produce more than they consume, which means if I take a person, feed them, house them, healthcare, everything they need to just get up and to labor, from their labor, let's say 8 hours, which is about a 10-hour day actually, that 10 hours produces enough monetary value to maintain that human and evolve and advance from that one person's 10-hour work. What does that mean? That means I could pay you $3 because I know at 10 hours you're going to produce me $200. $200, 50 goes to taxes, 40 goes to healthcare, 10 goes to your food, blah, 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 blah. I'll end up with what, at least 30, 40%, right? From your 10 hours, I get 30%. But here's the thing. You actually get the smallest percentage. It looks like on your check, right, that you're getting the larger percentage. That's just the taxes off the money that you've been paid. That's not what you earn, as in create, as in your 10 hours of labor brings in $200, but you're only getting $10, if that. That $10 is what gets taxed. Yeah. That's how the owners are incredibly wealthy. Because your $100 after all the taxes and man is 30%. That's 30% off you, 20% off him, 45% off that guy, this girl, that there, blah, blah, blah. That's why human labor is profitable. Now, you put somebody in a cage for whatever, 2-3 years and offer them a job that pays less than the minimum wage, boom, what do you got there? You get the labor, you get the profit, and your costs are low. Housing, maximum impact. Animals have more, are mandated to have more space between them than humans packed in prisons. So that cuts down on housing. Healthcare, I don't care, man. Healthcare in prison, yeah. So that's bare minimum, bare minimum. If you're lucky, if you fill out the right form, if. What else you got? Food? Food. That's not food. So, you get a young kid, you get them some extra charges, and hey, look, officer did a great job. Hey, he arrested a bad guy. Sure, he maybe put some extra things in there, got some extra charges, a couple extra years, boom. That justifies that officer's employment. Now, remember, the people that actually work get paid the least. The slave that is generated by a criminal charge is done by the worker, the law enforcement officer. Boom, in the front lines, taking the bullets, taking the charges, taking the assaults, taking all this junk always thrown at them. But hey, buddy, Officer, let's go. Go arrest somebody. The jails are getting empty. Did you know that the owner of some prisons can sue the state or the county or whatever if the occupancy rate is too low? Ain't that something? All right, folks, I'm going to hit a pause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the genders, fenders, benders, I am Mike Check King of Stupid here at hashtag 360 Stupid, signing off. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Good night, stupid.